Because I think I also forgot to do that too. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Reaction hour is done. Let's get some work going. Did I forget to do an at everyone yesterday as well? Damn, I am such a idiot doofus. Peak is adding cannibalism? Yo, that is based. Add piranhas? Adding a little steam to the room too would look cool. It would look kind of sick, wouldn't it? You know? What about the economy talk? Ah, man, we had that yesterday. Will this game ever be finished? I don't know. I think I'm stuck here forever, man. I'm gonna be honest. Nah, it will be. I think I just have to hopefully curb everybody's expectations and be like, hey, this isn't gonna be like endless amounts of fucking content where I'm gonna be sitting here working on it forever, you know? That's what I did with my 1.0 post when we released. I was like, hey, I don't plan on adding any more content. I guess most people didn't read that, so I guess I just have to keep bringing it up a little bit. The one thing I plan on doing is adding in a level of mod support. And I think that's a good way of closing it out. Maybe opening up the Steam Workshop and shit. And then just polishing some stuff. Not like necessarily adding any content. Add a skin for the 2018 Joker would be cool. I'm sure a modder will figure it out. Map editor when? You'd have to open up Unreal for that. I don't think I'm going to do a built-in map editor. It's just too much. I'd love to. I love the idea of like doing the UI and user experience of creating my own level editor, and I've thought about it, but that's for the next guy. I'll give that up to the next guy. Mods when? There's already mods. People have been modding the character to look like an anime girl's frontline character. So what do I do? Do I make it so... The thing is, I want to keep the water consistent, where if you walk in water, you die. You know what I mean? What do I do then? Do I make it so it doesn't kill you in that level specifically? Do I make it so maybe I make the water steaming hot and it looks visually like a hazard? Do I don't know. Still vote for the Super Hire simulation game? What would that entail? Ronin next or Riot? I think Ronin will probably be next. And Ronin would probably have combat systems that I wanted in this game and whatnot. Some mechanics that I would have liked to maybe work on or maybe flesh out, or I don't know, we'll see what we end up doing. I don't fucking know. Add an electronic device to his nuts and then short circuit when entering the water. Okay, that's a good idea. I like that one. I think people are going to go in the water regardless. The problem is if I put the water in, then the enemies need to go in the water, and then the enemies need to be impacted by the water. But then the thing is, then that means that if the enemies go in the water to attack you, then that means they don't die when you throw them into the water, because you can throw them into the water and then they die from falling into the water. So... the fuck do I do? I guess maybe right here it's a little different. You could do something like that. Wires in the water making it electrocuted. But how did the wires get in the water? Enemies die from water, you don't. That's simple. But then what about the melee enemies? What do? Throw rocks at you from a distance? Don't say yes, actually. Don't say that. I don't. You're gonna piss me off. Magic? Okay. Throw some lamps in it. You pissing me off, water. You're pissing me off. So that means I have to throw lamps in every single one of these, though. A toaster in each pool. What the fuck do I do here? What is the solution to the problem where we don't end up messing the game design of this level? Or this little area where it's like you can throw the enemies in the water. The ceiling lights are hanging, sparking over the pool. How did that happen, though? There's no story... Well, that being said, there's no story in the game anyway, so I guess that's a false fucking, you know, whatever. You can make the water really hot. We thought about that. It was like making it steaming hot, but I don't really think that solves the issue. I think, if anything, people are just going to get more pissed off about it. Ignoring the problem is its own solution. That's true. That's also true. That's very true. Good point. Very true. It seems like people just accidentally fell in the water, which also, by the way, skill issue. Maybe we just help them by putting more of these pergolas or whatever they're called. Stop them from falling in the water because I guess they have a skill issue. You know, put one right here, you know, so they don't fall in the water. Maybe we make it so if you fall on the staircase sections, you don't die, and it's only if you fall, like, more into the water. I'm wondering if they're, like, accidentally dodging into the water more. Maybe. But it's like the side step doesn't go that far, and you can kind of redirect your movement if you're... Maybe they're doing that. Maybe they're, like, rolling over the water. Maybe that's what's going on. You know, maybe they're trying to like go over these edges. And so when that occurs, they die. But I can... Okay, so... What do I do then? Piranhas in the water? I think the reason why it shouldn't kill you is because it doesn't seem like it should kill you, but once we do like some sort of visual element in the water or something that makes sense. It does look pretty inviting, I will admit. I think I made the water too inviting looking. I think that's the design problem. I made the water, like, nice looking. Yeah, dodging over it, I would say... It shouldn't kill you. I don't really know what we could do to... What's a design change that I can do to make it so we just roll over? See, like there you can roll over it. It's just when you like aim there. After releasing 1.0, our hero keeps working on it happily ever after. For a little bit. For a little bit. At some point I will have to be like, alright guys, gotta move on. This child has been fully birthed. We took care of it a little bit, you know. We didn't use we didn't use formula. We used the good stuff. Breast milk. I don't really like this comparison anymore. I don't really like this comparison anymore. Change the death message to soaked. Here's what I'm thinking. All right. If you fall in knee deep, you don't die. If you fall into the entire water, you die. You think once the bug reports are rare, it's time to move on? There's a couple key things I would want for to call things done. One is try to do as much mod support as I can. You know, make sure like there's a little bit of documentation so people making custom levels can do that. Maybe a little map loader in game. Give the workflow to modders and then they can have fun with it. And yeah, and then cosmetics, make it so cosmetics can be read from like a folder rather than modders having to replace assets, because that's what they're currently doing to create cosmetics. The only thing I'm worried about with modders is the game design of the game is a little bit flawed in the sense that it's not sandboxy enough that I think level modding is extremely beneficial, unfortunately. I feel like it will get bland very quickly, which does make me kind of wonder, okay, is that time investment actually worth it? I think for me, though, I think it's just like a fun... For one, I think it's a good learning experience, so... I wonder if that would fuck with people, though, being able to step in the water and then die once you're certain... That's the thing. That I'm like, that's why I'm kind of like trying to think here what I can do. There's no good solution. No good solution. Is it an Epic shirt? It is. It is. It's just comfortable, man. It's not even me repping the Epic games. It's literally just because it's a comfortable shirt. Sell out. They have not given me any money for this. I just make the water ugly right now? Yeah, perhaps. What's the collision? We could extend the collision. You guys see what I'm seeing? You see what I'm seeing? You see what I'm seeing? We could extend the collision a little bit. What is this overlay? This is a show collision pawn. You see, there's like a little bit more thing there. So I think if we extend the collision a little bit, put piranha fish in the pool. I don't want to make the water ugly though, but like we could make it ugly. Like we could make it uglier like water. I think if we make it steaming, maybe that might help a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we lower the water a tad, so it's like if you... So if you slightly fall in, like the water isn't... Like the thing is, if I do that, it might not look very nice having all the water like half. They can go fishing. I think lowering it would make it look like you can go in it more. Make it boiling? I don't know how I could... Like, I could. Lower it just past the first step? Then at that point, I do think I agree, like, it does make it look like you could walk into it more, because, like, the water is so, like, thin. Unless we make it, like, electrified or some shit. Or boiling. Simple, turn it into lava. Yes! Put skeletons at the bottom. Only the toughest can survive in these waters. Balak lava. No, that's not it. Fire? Candle fire. Yes. Yes. No, that's not it. That definitely looks uglier. It looks like tar. It looks like tar. I gotta say, it do look like tar. Also, these are receiving decals, which we do not want them to. Green for acid. Let me see what kind of water I got. Man, who the fuck fucked up the water in here, man? It just doesn't look as pretty anymore. That's my only problem, man. I kind of like how pretty it looks in here. But at the same time, I guess that makes it so the water doesn't seem... like a hazard, which is also part of the problem. Here's an idea. Copy, paste. Where's my gizmo? Excuse me? Gizmo? Gizmo? Gizmo. There you are. Electricity. 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 Okay. All right. I guess. I remember not being able to get in the pool at all. See, like, I like being able to get in the pool. It's just... the problem is, like, the thing is you can throw enemies into the pool as well. I second the P cloud. Would understand dying to that. Electrical... in this place, they turned on the electricity in the water to kill... What if the pools were just empty? Well, it just makes it look boring, and then it would be weird, and then... it removes the hazard for the enemies, and the player. Like, the idea is to have, like, a little bit of a hazard, so it's like... Yeah, electricity's kind of cool. The problem is that the... Sorry, hold on, give me a second. I'm thinking here. Lava. It's the tiling. I don't like the tiling. Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna have to duplicate that one. I thought I'd have a second one, but we do not. So we're gonna have to take electricity flow. Electricity Flow 2, the sequel. I was watching a rock climber falling when you did the fart noise, and I thought he sharted himself. You should ask. We don't know. It could have happened. I don't like that tiling too much. Go to 3. Does this solve the problem? No. Will people be pissed? Probably. But they'll always be pissed anyways. I feel like if I remove it, the people that were playing with the idea of throwing enemies into the water would then get angry. So I'd go from solving one side of the community and then causing problems on the other. You know what I mean? So I feel like by just leaning into what it is and then fixing some of the collisions to make it not as like punishing, I think is the way to go. Add a Steam cloud above. So what I was thinking, Imperius, is I would use more of these to really make it so it's like, hey, don't jump in this, otherwise that's your fault, brother. Using a bit more of these to kind of like make it so you don't like fall in or whatever, you know what I mean? You need pool coyote time. Yeah. I was thinking about that. The thing is, if I put a thing where you dodge and you fall, you're like technically supposed to fall. My only concern is that it might look weird in other areas. Just dot some health. Most people like die in one hit anyway. So I don't want to. That gets into complicated territories. It does get into some complicated territories. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I start laying out this shit manually with some player colliders or some blocking volumes. And I know, I hate doing this shit manually, but such is life. I'll extend it a little bit farther than what it actually is. And then the material will be concrete. I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one. I think. And then maybe just maybe, this could help resolve the issue a little bit. Maybe not resolve the issue, but at least make it more understandable, I guess, more consistent. You know? I think that's maybe what I'm thinking about here. I am thinking, though, we probably don't want the player to, like, walk on this edge, though, so maybe I move the other one. Thank you, Dural. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the game. I think it is nice. Like, there is obviously some people that want like the game to have like super amounts of fucking progression, but I am really glad. I think this did. I'm really glad that people are able to still enjoy the game for what it is without like needing fucking 17 million skills to level up. There is still people that are able to enjoy it without needing all of those elements in a video game, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that was the case. Isn't this one of those invisible rare cases where invisible wall? I could make it, you know, we could go baby mode and just make it so the player cannot jump through, but they can throw enemies inside of it. You know, we could do that. We could call that shot. Right? We could do that. But I don't know if that's what I want to do. It's really funny because this one level, just this one little area, made someone... it's something I noticed is there is a subset of people that will review something instantly. Like, they will make a review, a negative review on one concept instantly. Unless maybe what it is it wasn't this one thing. Like, maybe it was just a rack up of things and then this one thing made them snap or something. But I noticed some people will write a negative review very quickly. They'll be very quick about it. And that's interesting, but oh, all lessons learned, I suppose. Yeah. Like, I could make it so the player just can't run into the water, but that is a solution, a potential solution. What did I decide on? I added some electricity. I'm probably going to add some steam in here too, over the water, to make it seem a little bit more dangerous. And I'm also extending the collision, because I noticed that some of the collision isn't exactly like there. So this should make it a little bit more, and I extend the collision a little bit more. What I could do as well is make it so this only applies for the player character. And then enemies will fall through. So enemies will fall through, but the pawn has that like little bit of leeway. I think this is the way. You're scaring me for my release? Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. Honestly, I think the thing is everyone should just release a game and then just learn in your own way. Could maybe put those wooden decorative walls that act as separators. That is an idea as well. That could look kind of nice too. I think I know which one you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about this one? What did I call it? A beam, wood beam. What did I? Yes, fancy beams. I already guess you're talking about this one. I don't really use it anywhere in this level. I do, but not in the like the club area. I could use it around here for sure. How are people that are just doing drag and drop calling themselves game devs? Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about me? Do you want to... I don't know, what do you mean by that? The person that made the tools are a dev? YouTube updated their profanity policy again? Can they update their IQ policy? So do you mind expanding upon that, FJ? How are people that are just drag and dropping, calling themselves game devs? You can now curse in the first 7 seconds of a video? Oh shit. You are just doing drag and drop? Do you know what level design is? Do you want to see all of my code that I've made? Wait, hold on. I'm going to show him and he's going to be like, oh, that's not coding. This isn't coding, by the way. They're going to make that comment. All of my systems that I made. One guide? I am getting one guide. I think we should bring back bullying, and this guy needs to be bullied. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. That's my take. We should bring back bullying, because I think it's a lacking thing in this world. We are bringing bullying back? Yes! Dude, hell yeah. Bring it back. Hey, YouTube guy, I hope your ISP has an outage right now. Literally, I do one thing where I'm like doing level design and they consider it as drag and drop it. That is crazy. Please, recommendation. Please do not reproduce. Thank you. I'll end that there. Thank you. Thank you. Get a vasectomy. I'll use the moon line. Get a vasectomy. Please. You'll do everyone a good favor. Like, I think that'll do everyone a favor. The YouTube guy's already ahead of you. He bullied you. No, I think he just made a stupid comment. I think he's just making really, really stupid comments. That's okay. Testicular torsion. Yeah, watch out how you get out of bed tomorrow morning. Watch out how you get out of bed, okay? You might twist it. You went too far. I don't think there's ever too far. Thoughts on grabbing an enemy? Should I attach the hand saga to spawn a scene component on the hand? I think I do attach them to the hand, but the only problem with doing that is anything animation-wise can go wrong, and I wouldn't 100% recommend it. This guy totally fell off from track from one comment, hit pretty close to home. No, I think it's just crazy when someone stupid comes into my chat, and I do get baited by one stupid chatter. But no, it did not hit close to home. I'm actually doing really well, and I'm going full time on my game development. So go fuck yourself. Enjoy your job or whatever the hell you're doing. I assume that you don't have a job because you go into Twitch chats and YouTube chats to say stupid shit. So yeah. I'm going full time. Just so you know. Put your mouse cord on your neck, ma'am. Okay, now you're just kind of cringe. Now you're kind of cringe. And I'll let you have your moment. I think it's time for you to go though. Goodbye. He called all of us jobless. No, I call that one person jobless. A bunch of you motherfuckers have great jobs, and you're great people, unlike that other person. But they lost. They lost the argument because I told them that I'm going full time, and I'm starting a company and everything, and that person is not. Because all I use is a level editor. Do not call me a great person. Congrats, by the way. Thank you. Who is that trolling idiot? I don't know, man. YouTube chat. I gave them a little bit too much attention. Actually, when I level design, I write all of my level objects into a JSON and then load and instantiate those at runtime. No, Paul, I was doing, for the longest time, I was doing part-time because I had to do a bunch of contract work as well. Dude, just called this whole chat unemployed? No. I think you misunderstood. I think you misunderstood, Paul. Enjoy the viewership loss. All right, Paul. That's okay. You can take it that way. I apologize that you took it that way, but I meant that one person who's unemployed, specifically just going into chat rooms and being a dick. Should keep your female emotions in check. Where are you people coming from? Where are you people coming from, Paul? Where are you from? Is that it's that guy's alt. It is that guy's alt. That's definitely an alt account. Yeah. I think anybody who takes that the wrong way is like, that's me, I'm retired, no job. Dude, if you're retired, fuck yeah. That's sick. I think most people would understand what I meant by that comment, as in, like, if you're unemployed, you're like going around and you're just doing that all day long. That is like unemployed behavior. That's what I mean by that. But if you don't understand that, I apologize. And that being said, I am kind of ESL, so, you know, my bad. I think most people understood what I meant by that. And I apologize if you got, you know. Yeah. I love it when overly emotional, angry men tell others that they're being emotional. I think the thing with manly men is that they have a moment where it's like, dude, be a man. And then the moment that their emotions are hit, they're like not being a man anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what you mean by female emotions. I think that's pretty funny. Anyways, you're that guy's alt, so I'm just gonna also keep you in check. And by the way, hey, one viewer down. Hey, one idiot down. That's the truth. Having a blast with it. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Third. Glad you're enjoying it. Why is everybody negative? Why are you talking about threat active? No, we're not talking about John Nanite. You're trying to bring that shit in, man. Alt 2 is going to join soon. If another person joins in and says something, I'm going to assume it's Alt 2. I'm going to assume it's Alt 2. I feel like most people understand what I meant by that. Like saying someone is unemployed, like unemployed behavior. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a pretty common like thing. I hope that you work on a sequel down the road. Probably won't be a sequel, Third, but my next game is like a cyberpunk roguelite. And I think I would take a lot of the elements of this game that I wanted to do and kind of lean in that direction for the next game. So like do some like a little bit more gun-fu stuff could be fun to like do. I think it could be fun to do that if I can figure that out. Figure out how to put that into the gameplay loop. Yeah, we did. To go into a stream chat and drop hate out of nowhere is a massive misuse of one's time, literally being an advocate of hate and misery. Yeah, that's what I meant by unemployed behavior. I think it's pretty self-explainable what the like terminology of unemployed behavior means. Anyways, yeah, I'm going full-time, and I think that it's really funny when a person says, oh, you're not actually doing game development. I think that's hilarious. I think the reason why I got triggered by that comment is not the person saying that, but because there are people that actually genuinely think that shit in our day and age, in the gaming community. And I think the gaming community needs to check itself. Congrats on going full-time, by the way. Thank you. It's still like really stressful because I'm still trying to like fucking get some shit out of the way. But getting there. Getting there. Gets laid off because the people in charge of the company made mistakes out of their control. Bro, stop it with the unemployed behavior. Gets laid off from a company. The company then tells you should use AI to figure out your problems. Did I already start the new one? Like, technically, Ronin has been started to an extent, but not at the same time, because I'd probably recreate an entire... I'd probably start a new project for that one, to be honest. Is this why the interview couch got moved? Yeah, I changed industry. Changed industry. That was my part-time work. That was my part-time work. I had to move the couch. It wasn't fitting for the new thing, the new shtick. You know what I mean? What inspired you to make this? It started out as a very small game jam project, which was like a 3-day game, and then, you know, a bunch of the team was like, "Hey, let's actually make it into a full game." And I was like, "Yeah." And then it had a very arcadey sense in the very beginning, but then I kind of made it lean into more of the direction that it is now. Because I was like, I think one of the main things I was looking at was like looking at a lot of people that are like, they want a John Wick style game, and I kind of wanted to lean into like the action movie protagonist vibe that we don't really have too much of. And I guess that's kind of how it went from there. I don't know. It's been 4 or 5 years. I wish I could go back in the past and be like, why did you fucking do this? Because I don't remember. I know, Link. That's one thing that is it's kind of a scary feeling, is like, oh, we're going to be starting a new thing with a new code base. It's going to be kind of like weird, you know what I mean? Like there's no more of a, like there's not going to be a concrete foundation anymore. We're going to have to rebuild that foundation with a new gameplay loop and system and whatever the fuck. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so there's a little bit more of an edge now with the water. I think it'll be refreshing. I think it'll be interesting. It'll be like a good change of pace. I'll be able to see, did I actually learn all that much as a game developer about like game design and stuff? Like, you know, kids will be like a fresh code base and everything. So it's like, it'll be a good way to determine like, how much did I actually learn? Okay, you can't jump over that. Maybe we could put a corner there. We could maybe put a corner there. I don't know why my roll is going in that direction. That could be something I could fix. There, we could maybe put a corner. Right here, we could put a corner. Okay. Yeah, third. It's honestly the biggest inspiration is just action movies in general. Action movies, action games. You know, that sort of thing. Did I turn on the electricity? Yeah, we put some electricity in here, which should hopefully make it a little bit more apparent that, hey, do not jump in the water. Do not jump in the water. It's not good for you. Something I did notice, though, is the roll direction is kind of weird. Like, the way that we're facing. You see that? I think there's some improvements I can make there. Feels a bit weird. Or, like, not rolling forward. Good advice, man. Am I working on more missions for the game? This is one of the current missions that's in the game. I'm just kind of like adjusting it a little bit and trying to improve it a little bit. There are no plans for new missions, but I do plan on hopefully releasing some mod support and stuff like that so people can make custom missions and see what kind of stuff people can make. I think that could be really fun. Make it as accessible as possible for people to kind of make their own things. If I do end up adding any more missions, it's just because I felt like doing it. I don't want to promise anything, you know? I'm scared of that water now. Does it actually look terrifying now? Does it do the part? We got to put some steam. Let's put some steam in here. Steam. More steam. More steam. Need some wires in the water. The thing is, we're going to have to do that for every single pool. I'm going to have to put an element of electricity in every single one of them. What if, wait, hear me out. What if the lights somehow are fucked and they're causing the electricity? Oh no, game dev has to do work. Oh, more drag and dropping, man. Jeez, I don't want to do more drag and dropping. I'm sick of this shit. Oh man. Another inspiration, like when the movie came out, or yeah, I guess the movie, Extraction. Dude, Extraction is sick. That's kind of where the inspiration of adding in some kind of like suplex moves and whatnot kind of came from. You know, snapping necks and stuff. I already thought it was coming from the lights. Well, there you go. That's perfect. I'm glad. Am I still working on fixing stuff, or do you create new levels for the game? I am mostly just working on fixing things. Mostly just working on fixing things. That is mostly what I'm doing in the game right now. Wait, where's the direction for the... Oh, there it is. I don't think you can see it because it's trying to do translucency sorting. I think Steam. Get some steam in here, Steam. That doesn't look like steam. Steam? Cooking steam. The only thing I don't like about this is it's translucent. And that can get pretty expensive. As you can see. Exhibit A. That being said, I think the water is expensive on its own. I think it's the water. We can use the masked version. That makes it not as bad, but it's also not as nice looking. And it looks more like gas being burnt or something. Looks like a fire. Or like smoke. Could you make it so that the lights restart when you enter the room as if to tell that something messed up and now there's a... I'd rather find the thing that's like the easiest solution, and having something reset does cause a lot of like potential issues, because it's like, okay, when the player restarts the mission entirely, how do we do this? If the player does this, then do that, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. Is it really that expensive to use the other smoke? It can get pretty expensive. Doing this can get pretty bad because the amount of layers and translucency and stuff like that. As much as we love to think that rendering has gone far in gaming, which it has, there are still a lot of you know, things to consider, unfortunately. Couldn't you just slow the player while he's in it? I don't want to change the gameplay of this area too much, because while there is like people, there are people that are unhappy with the way that this is structured. Like, the thing is, you can grab enemies and throw them into the water. Like, that's kind of like the gameplay loop as well. Like, even though it is a hazard for you, it's also a hazard for the enemies. So it's something I think about. Let's do the cubes. Is there cheaper water? We could use a cheaper water. I don't think this is cheaper. If anything, actually, I think this is more expensive. I think they're all translucent, which does not make, it does not make any of this like easy to use. They're all translucent, except for this one. But then it's not as, you know, it's not as pretty looking, obviously. Hey, Golden, thanks for being, becoming a supporter. Thank you. Can I add a grappling hook to my prototype soon? Let me know how it looks, man. Like, we could do this water underground, like a dark blue. Or this water, I guess. This one's a different material, though. This is an older version of Unreal. Yeah, this is 427. Just use nanite. Or Condi. Yeah, it's Unreal 4. It's so funny because there's like an opinion of Unreal 5 these days. Even just using Unreal 4, which a lot of people would consider as like the optimized version, whatever the hell that means. Someone still shit on it for being an Unreal. Actually, a few people I think shit on it. Which is fair, you know, I'm still learning about optimization, so it's like I'm not, by any means, I'm not like perfect at any of this shit. Okay, I think adding the electricity helps a little bit. I would want to, dude, I want to add steam, it's just, it's gonna be expensive to put it in. We could use the masked version, and then maybe I change the color of it. Instead of it being black, maybe we make it like a white version. Let me see if I can actually edit the color. Guys, I have bad news. I ain't doing shit. Am I editing the right thing? Oh, the base color's not even hooked in. Mm-hmm. Apply, save, check out, blah, blah, blah. Go here, throw the thing in the thing, put the thing in the thing, change the color to like a whitish color. Okay. It's not changing anything. I'm a little concerned. Why is it not changing? Oh, it is changing. It's just not. I don't see the difference. Is this shit casting shadows? Hey, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Do I have a fog instead? I could use we could use the like we have fog. I don't know if I can increase the intensity of the fog into just these areas. We could do that. I'm just worried. Like, why is this not white? Oh, is it using an emissive? It's not using an emissive, so I think it is taking into account shadows. Okay. Okay, I I see. Okay. Hold on. I'm cooking. Okay, emissive. So this would be the cheapest way of doing it. And it looks stylistically like what we'd want it to look like. Kind of. You know, it kind of like fits the comic kind of vibe a little bit. Do not jump in the water. It's fucking hot. Would Niagara be cheaper than Cascade? Would you not just use max distance culling so if it's outside a specific range, it won't render? I'll definitely make it so it doesn't render at a specific distance for sure. It's just that if someone is like staring at the water, it might like drop their frame rate, which is my only concern. Could you maybe put it in the middle of the pillar and make it larger? What I'm thinking is I might actually change the particle altogether and change the spawn and put it along a plane. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Let me see where I can do that. Hold on, I'm drag and dropping. Initial velocity. Drag size by life. No, hold on. I need a... Now, Niagara is... I don't know if I'd consider it cheaper. I've actually run into more issues with the Niagara in this version of Unreal than other things, unfortunately. It's really annoying, but yeah, unfortunately I've been running into like more issues than anything. Okay, Z-axis is actually not what we want. Wait, which one of these is it that we don't want? Is it X? There we go. I think that's right. If I increase it to 500 units. Okay, maybe not that much. That's a little too much. Okay, maybe like 100. I think we do want to like scatter it. Let's do 150. And then we want the velocity to not be in X or Y, just Z. So then it looks like steam rising up, you know what I mean? Acceleration. Doesn't really look... I think the thing is we're gonna have to change the water material to make it look actually hot. I don't know. How can we make it look hot? Oh man, we'd have to make it bubble. I actually don't even know how to make a material effect like that. I don't know how I would do that. Oh god. It's lumen? We don't have lumen. We don't have lumen. UE5 can run like UE4 when the UE5 features are turned off. I feel like the maybe on an end user side, I feel like though from a using editor side, maybe if you turn on DX11, maybe it runs better. Or if you just switch the editor to DX11, maybe it runs a bit better. But man, I feel like it is a little sloggy. Sloggy? It's like kind of like a slog. It's like going through Shrek's swamp sometimes. It does kind of feel like that a little bit. Got air plizzle. Doesn't really look like it's going up. Where is it going? Oh, no wonder, because I'm not supposed to be, I don't want to move. Oh my God. It's because of this rotation, man. All right, don't mind me, I'm an idiot, and I gotta change all my numbers. Okay, change that, negative Z, positive Z. Oh man, oh God, oh, it's got the, oh, it's doing the flip book thing, man. Not that, well. Hold on, let's see what it looks like. Hold on, let's just see. No, don't bring me over here, man. Bring me where my camera is. Thank you. I'm trying to work here. What does that look like? It doesn't look bad. Like, it doesn't look, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look too bad. Like, I'm not too opposed to it. Although I don't know why the sphere is doing what it's doing. Do I have an initial location in here? Where's more? What the hell is this? My mana converting Cascade Niagara doing the autoconvert thing. I had to reconstruct mine from scratch. I just use a mix of Cascade and Niagara. Because I feel like Cascade and UE427 actually works better than Niagara. And Niagara probably works better, and well, I think it's like necessary in UE5. Every time I used UE5, I got so frustrated. Even after turning off everything, I still use 427. It is a bit, it does feel, even after disabling a bunch of stuff, it does feel a little bit like a slog. It does admittedly feel a bit like a slog. You know what I mean? It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool. I'm not like opposed to this. I can really up the emissive amount. But I don't know if I kind of want to make it subtle, you know what I mean? Not like too in your face either. That looks kind of, dude, I think that looks kind of sweet. I think that might work. That might work. UE5 feels pretty nice to me now. Joe with his supercomputer from NASA. What's my opinion on the Punisher and Rambo? I don't really have an opinion on Rambo, and honestly, I don't remember the movies because I feel like I only saw Rambo when I was like younger, when I was a kid. Punisher is cool. I like Punisher. Punisher with what's the actor's name? He's a great actor. What's his name? Fucking John Bernthal. Yeah, he's sick. He's awesome. He's an awesome actor. Yeah, super great. Super, super great. I think this looks pretty cool. I don't know about you guys. I think it looks pretty cool. It gives it like a hot feeling to it. The electricity also helps. And it adds a little bit of layer to the scene. Top down looks okay. I actually think it looks better in third person. The spawn location of the Steam, I'm not like too happy about, but I like the effect because it kind of gives hold on, I gotta figure out my words. It kind of gives depth and layer to the scene, which I think is great. A drag and drop dev doing his job. I'm doing it pretty well. The whole room is begging for volumetric fog. I know. I don't want to go. I don't want to do volumetric fog. I've actually been thinking of putting it in as a setting. What I ended up doing is I turned off volumetric fog by default on every level. I had some levels that had it and some levels that didn't, and that can be pretty expensive. You sure have been drag and dropping. Literally fixed an animation earlier, albeit it was just one boolean that I fucking messed up on, but... Now, what would make this better is if we fixed the glass destruction, man.
Shit my pants, I did.
Savage, thank you for the prime. Appreciate that. Thank you. Any primes? All blueprints is drag and dropping as well. Listen, all game development at some point is drag and dropping. Okay, don't fuck with me. Don't piss me off. Also, we should be able to shoot the water. Don't like that part. Dev does nothing on stream. That's true, in some respects. What's your opinion on modern games becoming more shit, soulless, bloated, unfinished, etc.? AAA, not indies. I think it is a over focus on business people being put into C-suite positions or executive positions who don't know the market very well and are instead just using their only research is the market based off of successful titles and not the creative platform and medium as a whole. And so because of that, so many of these large-scale AAA companies have lost touch in some ways, and they overhire, and what ends up happening is that they need to reach specific numbers. And all these execs are doing is not trying to make creative games, creative successful games. They're trying to just make successful products, or products that can keep giving them money. And I think that's the real problem. I think the developers within those studios can be given the chance and the opportunity to make great things. And I would say Arc Raiders, cool ass fucking game. You know, still AAA. It's from Embark. I think they do a great job. I think the thing that might be pulling them back a little bit, while it does give them funding, is probably because of the fact that they have an attachment to Nexon in some respect. Actually, wait. I know the finals is Nexon. Is Arc Raiders also Nexon published? Absolutely terrible at level design. Level design was one of the things that killed all of my early projects, but I'm glad I pushed through it and just push through it, man. Did you fix the deagle sway? I did. Oh, this isn't the Deagle, but I did. No, I can't fucking remember. I think I fixed it. I also broke something by doing that, but supposedly it's solely Embark Studios. It's just Embark for Arc Raiders? Oh, that's cool, man. That's like their, like, I guess, what would you call that? Flagship game? Yeah. It only shows Embark as a publisher on Steam. Oh, dude, hell yeah, man. I think that game is sick. I think that game is cool. I know they kind of leaned into more of a extraction direction, but I think it's still very cool. I just hope they continue to just polish the shit out of it and make it awesome. Because honestly, I really enjoyed that one day we played it. So yeah, I do think there is a lot of noise about a lot of like modern games being pretty just not good. But I think it is unfortunately that is, you know, it is the loud thing, right? But there are still, I think, some really good AAA games there, I think. Maybe funding from Nexon, but not a publisher? Maybe? Maybe? But, yeah. I think what gamers should be doing is vote with your wallet and focus on the games that you really enjoy and praise the games that you really enjoy, and there are some AAA games that can do that, and there's a lot of indie games that can do that too. And I think by putting your attention and focusing it in more positive things rather than negative, the game industry as a whole can grow and move past what is currently fucking a thorn in its side, which is this over focus on making billions of dollars. Hey, thank you, Nordbo. The kicking doors thing, while it's not realistic, it's fun, man. It's just fun to be able to kick doors into... I still look back at somebody commented on one of the shorts that I uploaded a long time ago. Do you guys still remember this one short? Some of you might remember it. Where is it? It was when I first made the door kicking system. And I also made like the audio system for it and everything, of like the door squeaking and stuff. I love this little clip. Cause it just looks so brutal and I love it. Oh man. Just kicking the door to a guy. Best clip ever. Yeah, in my opinion, I think if something... Obviously, like, you know, there are games that are grounded and trying to be more realistic, but I don't think this is that game. I think, realistically, I think just going outside of realism, I think, is just more fun. And also, action movie characters are kind of not realistic. You know, they're not really realistic. Motherfucker jumps from a 4-story building and it's fine. You could say it's the adrenaline, but, you know... Yeah. Heightened action is always fun to play. Right. There's a term for that. I don't know what the term is. It's like not like super action. It's like I guess hyper action. Was that the term? Hyper action? It's like action turned up a notch. Like Max Payne or Helldivers? Yeah, Helldivers is fun. Or hyperrealism. No, there's a term for like action that's over the top. And I'm pretty sure there's an actual genre or term for it. And John Wick would technically fall under that. I swear there's a term called hyperaction. Hyperaction. Nope, that's for hey, contextual usage. Now, of course, this is the AI overview, so maybe it's just like trying to, you know, make me feel better about myself. Can also be used more broadly to describe a state of intense or excessive activity in various contexts, like a hyper-action movie genre, known for its over-the-top action sequences. They made that shit up. They've been listening to me just to make me feel better about myself. Are those wooden things in the background new? Yes, I got them this morning. I gotta set them up. I've never thought to myself that realism is fun. There's some truth to that statement. I agree with him. I don't think a goal of a game should be realistic. It should be believable. I think the real thing that a game should be is believable, not realistic. I think because once you start going into the realm of realism, you start going into like really boring shit. You gotta like file your taxes, keep track of your calorie intake, you know? Go take a shit. You know what I mean? It's the name of the genre, hyperaction. Yeah, there we go. Like, I'm sure John Woo would be like considered as hyperaction. How's your success with this so far? Better than you hoped? I'd say better than I hoped. The thing is, I don't know if you guys have this thing. Do you guys have this thing where like your subconscious tries to come up with like dialogue for like the future of your life or some shit? You gotta like keep it in check sometimes. You guys ever have that? Is that like, am I egotistical? Am I a narcissist? Any therapists in chat? So obviously, you know, you have that subconscious coming up with random situations of what could potentially happen. That's just called schizophrenia. Okay, well, I'm schizo then. Yeah, you know, there's always those other things, but I would still say from a realistic standpoint of what I expected of the game, it definitely did exceed my expectations. I'm a therapist. You got a bad case of being a game dev. Well, shit. Shit. Yeah, I think it's done pretty well. I think I'll be able to go full time. I am dealing with a bunch of business stuff right now, and hopefully it gets out of the way soon. And then it's just smooth sailing, just working on games and doing cool shit and whatnot. There is a business side of game development that is not fun. Like, it's not really fun. And that's just the reality of business. Like, you got to deal with the business stuff, you know, taxes and whatnot, and expenses. But once I get past that, I'll have a more free mind. It is in the back of my head, like, constantly right now, so yeah. Recently got a PSVR 2 and been playing some Half-Life Alyx. It's a really solid VR title. I really think Half-Life Alyx is probably one of the best all-rounders VR games. Like, visually, it's really good. Gameplay-wise, I think it's pretty good. Story-wise, music-wise, sound effect-wise, I think it's one of the most all-rounder good, if not one of the best within its specific genre VR games. VR makes me sick. Any VR game that has like movement where you're like moving around, even teleporting, that's when it makes me super sick. Like, if it's a stationary game, it's a lot easier for my stomach. Thinking about posting some showcases on my Game Studio YouTube channel soon. Dude, I just post whenever you come across some cool shit, Golden, I'd say just post it. You know, you're going to get no views or interest in your game if you don't post anything. So getting started posting things is, I think, always a good way of going about it. Then it's just Demon Sword game, zombie game, and Idle Island game. Dude, there's too many games. We need to chill it out, man. There's too many ideas. We got Ronin, we got zombie roguelite, zombie survival game, we got demon game, we got chill, cozy, idle island game that's also kind of a roguelite-esque kind of... I'm gonna devolve back into like my original game developer vibe, which is like just fucking constantly working on different things and never following through with anything. Same, bro. Bought an Oculus just to puke. Scope creep. More like project creep. I play the theme tune to Helldivers anytime I do anything important, like putting bread in the toaster, or turning on the coffee machine, or even sometimes getting on a train. It is a very good theme. I think, though, the one theme from a game that really got me hyped up when the game first released, Apex Legends. That first time of going into the game and hearing the track was pretty. It was pretty cool. It was pretty sick. That was a pretty sick moment. Don't get me wrong. Helldivers track also very fucking good. But Apex Legends, when it first came out, there was something special about that track. I'm telling you, music can go so fucking far. I always have the opinion of like music can take a game and like push it to 10 out of 10. Hot take. All right, I'm about to say it. Don't punch me. Hotline Miami would be garbage without its soundtrack. I said it. Yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's the truth. I need to check out Apex and see how it's evolved now. Yeah, I would, you know. I don't know if it's like good anymore. I think when it released, it was really fun. Everyone was like trying to figure out shit. There was like a little bit of that element. I think now it's kind of like, you know, it's just like every game. I think as a game like lives on, it does kind of lose its charm to an extent. And depending on the game, those types of games like Apex and stuff like that, I think it slowly loses its charm over time. What about this idea? You start off in a shed with a car and you have to get it working to drive to visit your mom 5 kilometers away. You have to manage your thirst and hunger and you could poop and pee. Brother, that's already a game. That's called The Long Drive. You know, I did think about a game like The Long Drive, but it's a roguelite, and you gotta like get out of your car and fucking get like a tire wrench and like put your fucking tires back in and shit. You gotta like run away from like a zone that like slowly closes in, and it's like physics based and goofy and shit. And if you don't put your seatbelt back in, you like fucking fly out of your window. Like that would friend slop driving roguelite. Rally friend slop. Yes, rally friend slop. That's the pitch. It's rally friend slop. Yes, survival rally friend slop. Multiplayer co-op. Well, obviously, if it's friend slop, it's got to be called co-op. Slop wheels. Call it sloppy drive. That doesn't sound right. That sounds sexual. You might get shut down by MasterCard or Visa for that one. Do not call it sloppy drive. Nobody cares when you make a hot take until you make a little comment you think is normal, and that's when you get canceled. Streamer. God of War 2018 soundtrack. Oh, dude, God of War is also like, that's like a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. Actual 10 out of 10 soundtrack. With movies, that's what I love about music too. Can amplify, but also make things more intense, like in No Country for Old Men, having no score at all. I think the newest Blade Runner would be nothing without its like intensifying ambient soundtrack that it has. I think that's probably what made it good-ish. Oh, Tron Legacy. If Tron Legacy did not have the amazing Daft Punk soundtrack it has, that would have just been a mid-movie. Music is just such a powerful thing. And it's like music is multicultural, you know? Like any culture can get on board with music for the most part. Unless it's fucking hardstyle, which I don't think anybody's on board for that, except for like, I don't know, 3 German guys or something. I don't know. Taking shots at hardstyle, even though I used to listen to hardstyle when I was younger. Hardstyle is that music when your balls are like slowly dropping and you're like, oh, what the hell's going on? You know, I sometimes, okay, listen, when hardstyle randomly gets blended into an EDM track, it's like, okay, this kind of goes hard, but it's like, I wouldn't listen to this for like 4 minutes long. Listen to this, Xenoblade. Here, I'll listen to it for like a few seconds. That's pretty, man. The flute. Pretty sure it's a flute. The flute can be very it could be a sharp instrument in a way that like it hits the ears in a not so comfortable way sometimes. For me. They made their own custom flutes for the soundtrack? That's cool. The Dune movies. Dude, Dune? Oh shit. Dude, the soundtracks of Dune? It's pretty though. I like it. I like it. I don't know if it's like music I would listen to constantly. The one that you linked, Link. Hot take: Doom would be a 7 or 8 out of 10 without a soundtrack. I agree. That's why I think the newest Doom just did not click for me personally. I don't know. It just felt like generic metal, to be honest. That's what it felt like to me. Now, am I saying that Mick Gordon would have done a better job? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? But I think Mick Gordon definitely added to the mood and vibe and quality of the Doom, what is it, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal? I don't know about the old Doom games. Listen, I'm just a fucking idiot. Hey, drag and drop dev, how about you drag and drop these nuts on your face and stop stalling? Hey, hold on, let me just write something down. Ocean Drive. Adjusted water in Ocean Drive level to be more threatening. Not be as... Also adjusted collision to not be as... punishing. There we go. That's a good little change, I think, while still doing what it is, and yeah. How's the progress on adding open world multiplayer? All right, listen here, okay? Don't start spreading misinformation, okay? Okay, don't start... Doom 2016 soundtrack went so hard, but mostly because of how unique it was, in my opinion. Not that it's bad or anything. I think it was... yeah, I agree. It does have a very unique sound to it, but that being said... Listen to this one track and don't tell me it sounds like it would be something out of Doom. It's Mick Gordon with Wolfenstein. So it's definitely got that Mick Gordon touch to it. Like, I think Mick Gordon does have a sound. But I think he like turned it up a notch with the sound design in Doom 2016. Doom Dark Ages just sounds a bit more generic. It's still good, but doesn't stand out. I think there's a couple tracks that are sick, and then the rest are just kind of like, it sounds like a metal, just like a metal album for like a B grade, C grade metal band or something. Did you know there's a branch of science fiction called hard-fi? Hard-fi? Hard fiction? What's the difference between what is the branch? What is that branch of science fiction? Like, what is the like elements of it that differentiates it from traditional science fiction? Hard-fi sounds weirdly sexual. Well, it does a little bit, yeah. They also had some bugs where the music was super quiet, cranked it up, and it started sounding like Doom when Dark Ages launched. Really? That's weird, man. Oh yeah, I think I remember that actually. I do remember the soundtrack being overly quiet. Unless that was a different game. Anyways, yeah, let's do a little bit of work. Let's put like one more thing in for this hotfix patch. That like won't break everything. If we can, you know, if we can do that. Yeah, Reamer, I just fixed that today actually. was all it took was one boolean. So it should be in the next patch. The drag and drop dev actually like fixing things in the code. Who would have thought? It supports your idea of things should be realistic. Is that what hard fi is? It's like science fiction, but leaning more in the direction of realism? Why'd they call it hard fi? They should call it real science. Real sci real. Sci non-fiction. Sci non-fiction. Which kind of, you know, doesn't really help, but yeah. Hold on, he's cooking. Kind of real sci. Non-fiction sci. Hard science fiction like Ex Machina? I haven't seen Ex Machina, so I don't know how real we're talking or how hard we're talking here. I would consider, okay, some elements of Cyberpunk definitely very sci-fi, but I would consider some parts of Cyberpunk to actually be pretty accurate. And pretty close to reality nowadays, if I'd say. Unlike Star Wars, which is science fantasy. Right. I remember that being a terminology that I heard. Sadly, it's all the dystopian parts that are accurate, not the fun tech. Well, we never know. You never know. You never know. You might have one day we'll get to the cyberpunk age where you hook a socket into your brain and you're brought into a... Never mind. I don't want to continue that I don't... never mind. I retract. I have spoken. Where's my hoverboard from Back to the Future? Where's my self-closing shoes that doesn't look like shit? Accidentally started playing my liked songs and now we're on a fucking banger. Yeah, I think for Ronin, it's not going to be necessarily cyberpunk. I think I'm going to lean into like some Star Wars inspiration, and I might even have like non-human alien, like I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it. It would be kind of interesting to just do a little bit more like alien element there. So it's less cyberpunk and more maybe like leaning science, more like how I would picture it is like underworld Coruscant. Like I think that could be a really cool like kind of world to create, but in my own way. Because I just love the vibe and whatnot of underworld Coruscant. I think it's cool. Actually, let's just listen to the Dread soundtrack. There we go. Okay. Automatic reload setting when empty. How do games do automatic reloads again? You know what I was thinking of doing? I was thinking of putting in a, when you're reloading, putting in a, hold on, I'm trying to process my thoughts in my brain. Putting in a little, like, circular progress bar to show when you're reloading. If gun empty equals reload. Okay, thanks guys. I really appreciate that. I never would have thought that's what that setting would actually do. You're welcome. Hey, thanks guys. Do I have a skill check for faster reload? I do not. The thing is, the reloads are really fast already. They're not like super slow. Similar to the grab thing, like stamina-wise? Yes. Kind of. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put that in now because there's a large... Is active reload the term for that skill check thing? I would... Well, active reload is what they... I think that's literally the name of the item in Deadlock, which is why I'm correlating it to that, but... it might be the actual terminology in general as well. Oh, it's from Gears of War. Oh. Yeah, I think putting a little UI or UX to show that you're still reloading and in the middle of an animation could be helpful for players. I feel like nobody would necessarily complain about having that being an element. You know what I mean? I would? Well, yeah, get in line, man. Alright, file a complaint to my email that I don't read. I don't read it anymore because I get spammed by fucking people asking for like 3 press keys. It's like, why do you need 3 keys? What's the email? Not a real email at gmail.com. Bet, thanks. That's not going to end well. I'm trying to think. Guy's gonna be annoyed when he wakes up and sees key requests for some random video game in his mailbox. Did I tell you guys the story about how like someone was like someone was trying to like, now obviously this happens a lot, but it's just funny, this specific person. Someone was trying to act as if they were the email for Squeaks VODs. Not Squeaks, Squeaks VODs. His like sub channel for his VOD uploads. And they were asking for keys. But the funny thing is that the day that they sent the email for that, Squeaks already played the game on his stream. so I was like, Squeaks VODs? And I'm like, is this the Squeaks? It's the Squeaks, of course. It's just so fucking funny, man. Oh, it's so funny, man. I've just stopped. I still read my emails, but whenever I see someone like being like, "Hey, can I get a key?" I'm like, "Who are you?" Hey, Woozy. Who? Squeaks. Squeaks. The Squeaks. You know the Squeaks? Mario speedrunning guy? Please call me Mr. Squeaks. All right, we don't do that. How's the updates going? It's going okay. I think we're mostly just working on like a hot fix right now. Like get a key, brother. It's like $14. Like I understand in the perspective of press. Like if you're like a popular press and you have a lot of games that you're trying to do press on, I get that. But the thing is, a lot of those YouTubers that do send me a message, it's like their last video was like 3 weeks ago or like a month ago. And I'm like, I don't know. There's just so many red flags. Kermit the Frog. Hey, can I get a key? Kermit the Frog here. Can I get a key to your video game? Ah. Some streamers won't stream a game if they aren't given a key. Wild amounts of entitlement. Brother, just buy the game and write it off as a tax write-off, man. What you doing? I'm not even saying my game, just any game. Like, just write it off as a fucking tax write-off. Write off those cases that you bought on Counter-Strike 2 as a tax write-off. Don't do that. This is not legal advice. This is also not financial advice. In fact, none of this is advice. This is me just saying shit. Stupid shit. Is this the final hotfix and you can write the whole thing as a tax write-off? I don't think that's how tax write-offs work. Now, I'm not an accountant, but... Bold of you to assume they have the income to write off expenses? Yeah, I guess that's fair. I've heard stories of people writing off their private jet. And then they like somehow do a bunch of like weird shit and then they make money from writing off their jet. I don't know how the fuck they did it. Maybe they write it off as debt or something. I don't know, but they do something and they make money from that. And I'm like, brother, what do you mean? In real life money glitch. Real. Like actually real. There are a lot of ways? Okay, well... Alright, wise guy. Which way? That's why accounts are worth it. It's true. It's true. Share with the class, bucko. Hey, let's hear it. Hey, by the way, don't use bucko. Apparently that's a slur. I don't know where, but I was told it is. Uh-oh, I'm donezo then. Why write off tax? Just don't pay it. Man who's about to get audited. Maybe it works better in America, but my accountant always says no when I ask if I can write stuff off. Okay, what are you trying to write off? Is it the like fucking 7-inch butt plug that you're trying to write off? What you trying to write off, brother? Come on. Let's hear it. No, just a computer? You don't write that off. You put that at least here in Canada, you put that off as a CCA. Capital cost allowance. Capital cost allowance? Yes. You technically don't write that off. You just do a capital cost allowance, which is technically writing it off, kind of. But you're writing it off over a period of time. Don't need to write off anything if I don't make any money. CCA, is that a new programming language? Yeah, it's the new one. You should get into it. It's very low level. Lower level than assembly. Where am I? Let's try, how hard would it be to make a reload icon? I'd probably want to make it a separate widget. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Insert witty drag and drop joke. About a drag and drop. A delicious platter of food in your mouth. It's all moldy though. It was delicious. No longer. User interfaces, player HUD. Can you explain why bucko is a slur? Or you're just going to gloss over that? What the hell is he saying? What is he saying? Is the gun on chock-a-block a science scar? By the way, I think is yummy. Love the sound effect you have for it. Plus it being a tap, one tap at distance. Chock-a-block is the one with the staircase. Which gun is over there? I actually don't know which gun is in that level. Hold on, let me see. The chock-a-block. Chock-a-block. Which gun is over here? Yes, it's like a, like you could say it's like a scar, because it's got the receiver of a scar, or like at least reminiscent of a scar. But I actually think this is a different gun because of the handguard. I don't remember which gun this is supposed to be inspired by. Which gun was it? It obviously definitely has reminiscence of Scar, though, for sure. I don't fucking know. It's a gun. Yeah, it's a cool gun. Yeah, it does the gun thing. It does the shooting. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's a fun one. It's fun on controller as well, because you get the that's a different gun. You get the nice vibration. Don't do anything naughty by turning on infinite ammo. Not that it would work, because secondary weapons don't have infinite ammo, so. I used to have it, like, initially when I was working on the vibration, I made it so these guns had, like, the highest vibration, and I swear, I feel like my controller was gonna break. The motor was just going, like, it was loud. I was like, okay, we need to tone that down a little bit for the automatic rifles, because that's just not gonna, that is not gonna cut it. Is time our variable here? Yes. Okay, circular progress bar radius. Let's just copy the bloodthirst bar. Come over here. Reload bar. Reload circle bar. Reload radial. Radial. Reload bar. Sure. Let's use a different icon. Ammo. Oh. Icon. Ammo. Sure. Just magazine. I would like this circular progress bar to be thicker. Chat, can we make this thicker? Make them thick? I want them nice and thick. How do I change the thickness of this thing? For some reason, women are buying my game more than men after the last update. For some reason, my PC keeps micro-stuttering. I just realized what this track is. They the guy who made the cool sci-fi cinematics in the Warhammer world. Subnautica. I forget what it's called. I forgot what it is. I'm sure someone knows. Relax. Jeez. Fortnite. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so to make this thicker, I got to change the radius of this. However, the problem. Whatever. Thickness. Yeah. Circular bar thick. Hell yeah. Bar thick. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Ooh, that's a little too much. A little too much. A little bit too much. Let's tone that down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, how... That's literally all, this is all we're doing. Okay, well, I guess that's fine. Event construct, we set it up on a dynamic material. We set the brush to the material of the thing, which is image 115, and then we blah, 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 set the time based off of the timer handle. Huh. Okay. I'm Johnny. It was the latest Windows update. It was driving me insane. Are you using Windows 11, Golden? If you are, that's probably your problem. Sorry, that's not very helpful. I apologize. Stuttering. I don't know. Stuttering can probably come from a whole range of things. How do you even debug stuttering? How do you even get started to debug that? Like, what could be the... Do you like profile your GPU or your RAM to see what's like spiking? Would that be the indicator of if what is causing the problem? Microstarters could be a few things, I imagine. Wow, that's a lot of words for saying nothing. I would assume, yes, it would be. It could be a few things. Oh, you ate a whole buffet from Mandarin? By the way, there's like a buffet place here in Canada, if you don't know. Oh, you got sick? It could be a whole range of things. Who knows? Now I'm kind of down for like a Chinese buffet. I'm kind of hungry now. Oh, shit. The question is like where to start. I don't know. It's Windows 11. Time to switch to Linux. Uh-oh. Chinese food is my favorite, or Thai. For me, it's definitely, I would say it's... My top 3 would be Thai, Korean, Mediterranean, but Mediterranean is such a broad one. So I'll say... Specifically, maybe like I'm trying to think of like a specific country. Turkish? Maybe Turkish? I don't know. Thai is good, man. Thai is good. Curry, pad Thai. Bunch of shit. How is stutter? What is stutter? When is stutter? I would do these in order if it persists after each thing. Hard offing the PC. Restarting in safe mode. RAM testing, CPU stress testing, GPU driver rollbacks. Hard offing the PC. I'm gonna hard off you. It's like, you're gonna... Yeah, I'm about to make a really bad joke. You're about to Epstein the computer. You're about to Epstein the camera went off for like a minute. It randomly, someone offed the PC. Okay, so radial reload bar. I don't know if I like this timer. When is the stutter? Is Windows 11 a gamer? Is your Windows 11 using UE5? If so, that's probably why. Because Unreal slop. I was reluctant to post that clip in Discord just a bit ago. I got to take a look at it because I noticed what you said. Don't nerf the extinguisher? Oh, the sound spamming itself? Oh, you ran into it and it killed you? I could fix that, but it should still kill you if it's like... Stream recently just had the Epstein speedrun, seeing if they could strangle a mannequin without chat noticing. What? It's a unique stream idea, I guess. I suppose. $12. Ah, shit. Divide by 12. Divide by 1, which is just the same value. Divide by... yeah. If you do 1 divided by 0.5, you get 2. Get timer remaining by handle, and then divide it, get timer elapsed. If you take the elapsed time and the remaining time, that gives you the total time. And then you divide that by you divide the remaining time by the total time. So you do 1 divided by 5. Actually, no, you want elapsed time divided by the total time. Yeah, put that fucker in there. Put him in there. Reverse the polarities. Okay, good. We're good. All right. Turn on the flux capacitor. All right. Yeah. What the hell did I just do? All right, moving on. I thought this was a drag and drop stream. It still is. Blueprints is drag and dropping, according to that guy who I don't know what he's doing right now. I hope he's having a very enjoyable meal and doesn't choke on it at all. You know Millsy? UE looks different. It's UE4 and it's a plugin called Darker Nodes, which I think makes UE4 look like I don't want to puke looking at it, at least. I mean, $98 off Steam this month, and they said Steam didn't process your payment because you didn't meet the minimum 100. I just go on your alt and then buy the game. I don't know. Is that allowed? I feel like that's not allowed to push your minimum. I didn't know I could do that and make it look that cool. Yeah, if you just move around the different colors and stuff like that. I've also got electronic notes. For me personally, I don't know why. I just like the default look of the blueprints. Maybe just because like it's familiar, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't judge anybody else for using it. It's like, hey, if you use it, it's cool for you. Hey, hell yeah. As Notch said, if you don't make your game engine from scratch for making a game, you're not a real game developer. No. He didn't use game developer. He used real programmer, I think, as the terminology. I'm not a programmer. I'm a game developer, which is a very broad role name because it could mean literally anything. Listen, I just make games. I don't give a shit about titles. I don't care. Yeah, listen. If that makes that person feel better, I do drag and drop. And guess what? I somehow made money from it. I don't know how. We had not you, Millsy. There was a person earlier in the stream that we've just been constantly making jokes about now because they randomly joined the YouTube chat and it was like calling me not a real game developer. Game developer. Yeah, okay, buddy. Game releaser. You can call me the game releaser. Releaseler. The releaseler. That doesn't sound right. I was trying to make an NL joke, but it just did not go right. Okay, so I need to go to my HUD. Where my HUD? Where's my... Oh, shit. Yeah, the crosshair is like not in the center here. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I gotta put it in the crosshair? Uh-oh. He's probably one of the same kind of person that thinks bugs are easily fixed. And nah, it's probably the type of person that thinks like you're only a real game developer if you make like either A, they were trolling, or B, they were actually being honest. And they're probably like the type of person that's like, yeah, if you don't make your own game engine, then you're not a real game dev or something. Who cares, man? Who gives a shit? Who cares? If you're making cool shit, who, you know, what does it fucking matter? Okay? You know? If you make some cool shit in Game Maker, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? If you're able to make something cool, that's a huge fucking W for the people playing your game. That's how I view it. Why is this thing so big? Okay, it's a little big. Guys, I'm going to be honest. This thing's a little big. Let's make it a little smaller. It's looking a little too, looking a little large. Is this the actual crosshair? Is this the right one? I have a big button that opens Stack Overflow. That's my bug fix button. Oh, God. I don't think anyone will recognize you as a real game dev unless you pull up Paint at least once per stream or open up a notepad / a new IDE tab and type out your thoughts. Anyways, guys, so what I was thinking about, right? So if we just take, if you were to cook steak, right? This is a steak, and then you don't season it. It's an unseasoned steak, right? But if you take a steak and then season it with some salt and pepper, you have a seasoned steak, which generally tastes a lot better. That being said, steak fucking sucks, and I hate both of them. And you know what's better than steak? Ribs. Now this is ribs. Now ribs, so much better. In every way. I hate steak. I learned something here today. You just have bad steak, sorry. Listen, I just don't like how pink steak is. I just like, you know, everyone, if you eat it well done, then you're like cringe. Listen, I like medium well done steak or whatever. What are the levels of steak? What are the levels of steak? Don't like steak? That's on you, bud. You're on the list. You fucking watch it. Steak eater. Steak eater. Steak eater sounds like a horror game that has like that retro art style. Steak eater. That literally sounds like it could be like a horror game, like indie horror game, $5 for 30 minutes. Is that a new slur? Don't call it that. Steak eater. Steak eater. It actually looks good too. The logo, I can see the logo. Dude. Blue, rare, medium, ruined. Okay, yeah, all right. Ruined. Just say overcooked. Wagyu steak? Give me that steak that definitely lived a healthy life. Yeah, true, right? You should port this game to consoles? I'd like to at some point. Steak Eater. Okay, here's the plot of Steak Eater. You are in a restaurant. You already placed the order. The person comes in, gives you your steak. You cut into it once. It's fucking well done. Then the entire screen goes red. And I don't know. Figure out the rest. You guys figure it out. I'm not making that game. That's my idea. Yeah. Where am I? It's a co-op style steak eating experience. It writes itself. Yeah. There's definitely an audience for that. Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Someone make that. That's at least 500 unit sales. Your steak is cooking and it takes too long, and then What a Thrill starts playing instant fill-in plot. Oh my god. Wait, what is What a Thrill the Joker song? What's the Joker song? Crimson, listen, I know what it's Metal Gear. I know it's Metal Gear, but I'm saying a better song is the Joker song, the one I'm thinking about from the movie The Joker. In 2021. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Listen, who asked? I did. Motherfucker. Warheart? Am I going to continue to adding more moves to the game? I'm not sure. No promises. If I add any Warheart, it's just because, like, I felt like putting some in. I thought of maybe making it so you could do, like, at least not executions, but for, like, punches and kicks. Having, instead of the kick be an immediate, like, strong kick, it could be, like, a side check kick kind of thing. And then maybe it only deals 1 damage. I don't know. We'll see. And then you have, like, charge up attacks and stuff like that, but I don't know. The song name is That's Life. Is that what's name? Is it? That's Life? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate widgets? It is Frank Sinatra, if I remember correctly. Scale 1 to 10? Like a 5. It's great and also not great at the same time. You know, it's like a 5. That's a pretty acceptable number, don't you guys think? Okay. 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 Do we have a first-person camera mode yet? You're asking for a lot here, okay? You're asking for a lot. Listen, if you want that, you're gonna have to get me like a plate of ribs or something. I'm really hungry. Like I'm getting real hungry. To me, it's tedious. I get more enjoyment out of figuring stuff out in Blueprint. I think it's a mix for me, because I do like the aspect of trying to figure out really nice, good UI/UX, making it look good, feel good. You know what I mean? He's working on the multiplayer track and drop nodes first. Stop. You're gonna get everybody confused. What does second person look like? It's the guy that you're shooting it's his perspective. I want every kind of camera mode. I was genuinely thinking about putting in like exactly top down. So right now I would consider it as kind of isometric, tilted top down. But I was thinking about doing like an exactly top down. I scrapped that idea because at some point I gotta finish this game. And if I spend too long sitting here, I will get a full head of white hair. I have like 6 hairs, but yeah. What am I working on the game for now? Right now I'm working on a little like reload UI thing just to kind of I think something some players do is that they'll reload and then like it's just like a little UI UX thing just to kind of throw it in. There's also another bug fix that we have lined up for this patch as well. And then I also do need to put this in, being able to disable some of the HUD elements as well. Am I going to add more levels and guns? Kind of similar as the animations. I don't know. If I do, it's just because I felt like doing it. I am going to try to put mod support in. So hopefully that will kind of allow players to, or modders to kind of create some fun levels and stuff. And I'll try to make it as accessible as possible. Are we recreating the crosshair every time we play the game? Hold on, I'm just realizing something. Because I know we had that bug when we restarted the game. Okay. Okay. When are we playing this for community gaming night? Multiplayer RPG. Dude, I love multiplayer RPG. Yes, the Paragon character. And then, I don't know, probably just another marketplace asset. And the Paragon characters. And a breakdown of the controls. Okay, got Q for left usable item shortcut, E for right usable item shortcut, W for swap weapon. Oh, it's an ARPG. Why didn't they call it multiplayer ARPG? Why multiplayer RPG? These motherfuckers, and they're like misdirecting. Dude, what the hell, man? They just put anything on Steam these days, huh? Without thinking about the title. If I can't get that, can I get fixed camera angles for one map? I tried to do that in certain areas, Ray, doing fixed camera angles, kind of Resident Evil style. And it just didn't work too well. I tried to experiment with it. The dev has made 93 games. That's a lot of fucking games. That's a lot of games. I just realized something. If we're constantly recreating the crosshair, what's deleting the crosshair? Is anything deleting the crosshair? Where do we spawn you? Memory leak caused by crosshair would be very funny. It's not funny. That's not funny. Don't laugh. Wait, how do we set... we're setting the mouse cursor widget within the player controller, but the player character keeps getting killed and reset. How the hell is this rerunning? Why did it run that 3 times? I understand 2 times, but why did it run 3 times? What? Where's my here? Who coded this? Me. I never said I was smart. Okay, can we turn this off? Go away. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see how many crosshairs we have on screen. 3. We currently have 3 on screen. We currently have 3. We spawned 3. Let's see if it gets garbage collected. 2. Okay, it was garbage collected. I don't understand why we keep calling event construct on the crosshair. Okay, what if we reset the checkpoint? 4. How do you force garbage collection again? GC to collect. What was that line? It was a very complicated random letters line. I don't remember. Doc garbage GC or some shit. What was that? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, well now it's 2 again. Maybe when we restart mission. Was it force GC? Nope, it's not force GC. I don't remember. I remember it was a very weird line. It's still 5. Oh, OBJGC. It's still 5. Why do we have 5 crosshairs? That would explain the frame dropping, because it does all of these bindings to the player character that plays animations. GC's every 61 seconds. I set my GC to every 12 seconds. But that being said, even with GC, the values are racking up. Although they're only 9 right now. Now it's 7. So maybe death doesn't reset it properly? Seven. Okay, it's just 7 now. 8. Reset. 10. 9. Okay, there are crosshairs that are not being deleted. This is a good find. This is a good find. This is good that we found this. It's good. I don't know how to delete. I don't know why multiple crosshairs are being set on this crate. Problem identified. If it has bindings instead of BPI, bindings update on tick. I 100% avoid any bindings at all. Those are these bindings on the side here. You're better off using tick, but we don't use tick here. We just use these kind of bindings. We use we use the event dispatchers essentially, which are, you know, still have their price. Everything has a price, right? At the end of the day. Yeah, I'm a little curious though why we... Let's do a find all, and let's just like the player character also apparently uses the crosshair. I think it's because the third person crosshair, right? Third person crosshair. I think the third person crosshair is not being destroyed, which would be weird because we constantly destroy the player character. Grounded 2 is very nice looking. Does it look good? How's it look? Okay. It can't be the player controller constantly on possess. It'll constantly keep calling on possess because we constantly possess new player characters, which then calls the crosshair widget again and 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 again. And for some reason, it's calling it twice. Reset a checkpoint. We recreate the character, which causes the possess, but we call possess twice for some reason. I don't know why possess is being called twice. Okay, we're gonna make some. We're gonna do some optimization here. Actually, I'm just gonna do a traditional is valid for this one. If it is not valid, do the thing. If it is valid, let's just go ahead and what we'll do is we'll create an event in the crosshair to rebind all of the events. I don't think calling this again would cause any binding issues, right? Because technically the other player character doesn't exist. So it should be fine, right? I'm sure that won't cause any unsuspected random problems. Okay. Now, do we keep duplicating the crosshair when we do that? 2, which makes sense. We have 2. We have the third person crosshair and the top down crosshair. That's fine. All right, reset to checkpoint 3. I would guess if we force garbage collection, it is still 3. Four. 3. Oh yeah, another update I want to make that I think is going to be really good. When you're executing an enemy, if another enemy has the execution, their timer for their thing to disappear, I want to make it pause. I think players would like that change. Hey, do you mind opening the door? Okay, or maybe not. Okay. What was our crosshair count at? I wasn't paying attention. Can I add an unlockable bikini? I'm sure a modder will figure it out. I don't know if that's my thing. That might be a modder thing, though. I'm sure a mod would put in a bikini. You know, a nice little... Maybe a Speedo, you know? Speedo would be pretty good. A mankini. Yeah. Isn't that just a Speedo? Okay, we are still at 4 crosshairs on screen. 5. Maybe the garbage collection is bulking them. They do like to cluster it. A V-string, yeah! Okay, 6. I'm a little alarmed. They're still showing up on stream. Or in the game, they're still showing up. 6. In what world do we need 5 crosshairs? That's what I'm saying. Something is resetting them. So every time we reset to checkpoint, we have 7 now. Dude. Okay, which... For some reason I couldn't interact with the UI anymore. I'm a little alarmed about that. What happened? Why... Did I break my mouse? No, I didn't. Is that because I paused while the loading screen was fading out? Oh. Someone write that down. Bug loading screen taking mouse control. If hitting pause menu too quickly during animation. Collecting the infinity stones of crosshairs. I genuinely don't know why the crosshair is not deleting itself. I'm gonna be completely real. It could be either one of two things. It could be the widget component not deleting itself properly. Okay? Could be that. For some reason it's not deleting itself properly. Don't know why. I guess it is a screen space crosshair, so maybe what we need to do is do we have an event to unload? Wait, what kind of event do we want here? Destruct event. End play. Get widget. Let me see. Do I have to remove from parent a widget component? That would be fucking crazy if I have to do that. Let me just double check that this is the actual, like, this is doing something. There's no way. Three, run garbage collection. It's still three. It's still three. It's four now. What? Okay, hold on. What's in the hierarchy here? I need to see. Character? Do we have multiple of our player character? No, we have one player character. What's that one thing? I have not used this ever. We're gonna learn how to use it today. Widget reflector. Yes. Ah! What the hell? Ah! What? Is this the thing? Widget reflector? Take snapshot. What the fuck is this? That's sick. What the hell is that? Whoa, it's a picture. Yo. What? Yo. And I can debug every single element of it, even that widgets inside of the thing. What? Oh wait, okay, so that's not what I want, but that's cool. One day maybe that'll come in handy. Probably not, but you know. How many crosshairs we still got? We still got 4 crosshairs. There must be a way for me to see every single widget spawned into the instance. Like I could dump ticks grouped. Widget component vocal pop-up. Guys, it is not. Did Suit sell well for me? It sold enough for me to be able to go full time. So I would say that's a win. That's a W in my book. I don't know why we're still getting more crosshairs, and I imagine they're probably. I do see some errors in here. I think these are not getting valid. So I don't know if this is the problem. Is the next game in UE4 or UE5 or even UE6, depending on how slow you go? Hey, what the fuck, Ray? Jeez, that went from a question to an insult. Or, well, seemingly an insult. This is just... what the hell? I'm seeing a camera model in Grounded 2, and the knurling on the lens is actual geometry. Well, it's in UE5, isn't it? They could be using nanite for it. That's a good looking camera, man. It does. It's either one of two things. It's a really fucking good normal map, or yeah, it could just literally just be geometry. Yeah. Yeah, man. Is this game coming to PS5? I'm not sure yet, John. I would love to. I'd love to, like, in the future. Next game, though, Ray, probably UE5? I don't know, dude. I'm noticing some of the flaws with UE4. There are quite a few issues that I'm noticing that are popping up more and more from a compatibility standpoint and whatnot, and I think UE5 is just kind of like the way to go. Just hopefully, you know, the under foundations of UE5 continue to improve. But yeah. Am I no longer doing contract work? Not necessarily. I do not know why any of the crosshairs would be persisting. At least we fixed this. This is a good start, because this meant we were constantly creating crosshair widgets. So I think something else is creating the crosshair widgets. Now, of course, we do have this guy right here in the widget component. Is the widget component, because it's in screen space, is it not deleting itself? I gotta search this up. Hold on. UE4 widget component, screen space, not deleting, not removing. Or maybe they are removing but not being put into a cluster for garbage collection. Could be that. UE5 ain't any better. This is sticking with people not optimizing. I think the thing is you have to optimize in UE4, you have to optimize in UE5. You gotta. I for one, I'm not blaming the engine. I'm blaming myself. There's a lot of things I don't know that I have not optimized, and it's my own fault. Is it the engine's fault? No, maybe sometimes, but at the end of the day, it is my own fault for not coming up with a solution. Krim, optimize this. This uses emote that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so every time we reset to checkpoint, we spawn a new crosshair. Does that crosshair get garbage collected? Mr. Crimson, I would like your professional opinion on my flashlight that I spent way too long working on. That's good, man. I think it's maybe, like, I would imagine you're kind of going a little horror-esque, I would imagine. I would maybe tone down the brightness like a tad, but it's up to you at the end of the day. Like, for me personally, I would tone it down a tad because it seems very bright. Where's the flashlight? I'm assuming it's the actual, like, the light. It's the light function, because I can tell. I don't think this is just a, or at least it doesn't seem like it's just, or maybe it is. Maybe it is just a cone. I would say maybe tone down the brightness a little bit. I can see a little bit of like some of the volumetric fog coming out. It does look like a little bit like a light function. It looks like it has the rings. It does kind of look, it has that, like, those rings. Yeah, I would say just a little bit lower brightness, but that's up to you. It depends on what kind of flashlight you're going for. Why do we keep getting crosshairs? Okay, so I guess the question is, why does it work when we do restart mission? Pause menu. Do you see my custom gun? Oh wait, I think I saw it in the modding page a while back. Is it the same one? In clips. Oh, you posted a clip of it? Oh, in clips. Okay, sorry, my bad. Let's see. It's got some yellow stripes on it. Hey, hell yeah, man. Were you able to figure out all the sockets that you needed for the gun? It seems like you Oh, I think, okay, here's what I would do as an improvement if you wanted to. You'd probably so I'll show you the Desert Eagle, the actual Deagle. You might need these sockets. So write this down, right? You got a pen and paper? All right, write this down. I'll wait. Or just take a screenshot. You need muzzle, and then you need laser flash. Laser flash will basically dictate where the laser and the flashlight will start. Generally, I would try to keep it close to the muzzle. Muzzle is where the muzzle flash will appear. Cartridge is where the bullet or shell will come out of. Mag is a confusing one. This is, I think, where the magazine will come out from. IK is a very confusing one. This one is like in a very weird position. This is like where the left-hand IK goes. But there's no, listen, I wish I could explain where this fucker goes and why it goes in the way it goes. I think it's using the wrist as the positioning, but the biggest one is muzzle and laser flash. I think that will give you a nice like improvement from the muzzle flash appearing from the hand instead of the actual barrel or muzzle. Yeah. That's about it. All right. When we use the reset button, I don't think we're continuing to run here. We're resetting the level. So we're deleting the secondary weapon. Switch level. So many weird things that we do in here. I really don't know what is causing the I don't know what's causing us to double up on crosshairs. It seems better than before at least, but still not where I would like it to be. Can you pause development real quick? I got to use the bathroom. Brother, I do that every 30 minutes. I just don't do anything. So don't worry. Don't worry. I don't do shit sometimes. So. Huh. When we unload and load the level, are we resetting the player character? I don't think we are. Not in this case. Not with this level. Man, I don't know what is going on. I think it's improved, but I also don't know. What are we doing Superfire today? Some random optimizations that I randomly found out while looking at the game. And we're also putting in a little neat UI/UX improvement, which is when you reload, you're going to see a little progress bar, which I have not worked on at all. So I'd like to work on that. I would like to work on that, yes. All right, so here's the idea. We bind an event to reload, which is going to be in the player character. Reload. And then the reload, for some reason, uses a timer handle. Timer. I use the animation instead. They just use the raw animation. I think we'd want to use a raw animation instead. Yeah, I think I just know there is a widget issue, Marco. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm looking at this crosshair thing, because like we're creating a bunch of crosshairs. So this could be, this right here that we just kind of fixed up could have been the problem. Because the lag mostly occurred when we would shoot and then when we would hit an enemy. That seems to be You know? You know what I mean? So, I think by making the fix that we did here, it should hopefully help a little bit. It's one of those unknown situations where I don't 100% know what the problem is, and I'm just gonna have to do some profiling. So, I just know it is a widget or slate issue that is causing the lag spikes. I did some optimizations, which is why we kind of some stuff was broken, which we recently fixed today. So I gotta line that up. I'm gonna go crazy. Still a ongoing issue that I think I'm slowly weeding out the problem. Slowly weeding it out. This whole tech tree of development looks so interesting, yet I can't wrap my head on how it works. It must be so complicated. You get used to it, and it's not so bad. It's just like, I would just treat it as literally any sort of creation, you know? Like a building. You know, seeing an entire building or a train or whatever get built, or a car, seeing the end product, or, well, I guess whatever, work in progress product, is always going to be somewhat overwhelming. When you break it down into pieces, it's not so bad. It ain't too bad. So I need to bind an event for when we reload. And I want to send which montage we're using, so then I can read at which point we're at with the montage. So, weapon reloading, weapon stop reloading. I'm actually gonna rename this. Never mind, no I'm not, I don't care. I'm gonna add an input. This is gonna be an anim montage. This will be reload animation. And then weapon stop reloading, we don't really care about any of that. Okay, okay. So we'll do a binding to weapon reloading. And then we'll create a custom event called started reload. Then we'll make another one. Bind event to weapon stop reloading. And then this is where we will end reload, which is essentially just setting the reload bar to invisible. Okay. I can see your comments in the video, but not in the chat, so thanks, Fi. Don't worry, Ruby, nor does he. I do get lost in the sauce at times. I do get lost in the sauce. Lost in the gravy. There's a lot of gravy. Random cheese curds all over the place. It's fucking crazy. There's a lot of shit going on. Now I want poutine. God, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting real hungry. What do I... Okay, started to reload. Oh right, yeah. That's not what I wanted. Anim reload anim montage. So I'll be able to read from the anim montage reference and get time elapsed. Timer elapsed by, wait, what? Why is the anim montage a timer? Montage. Where's current time in montage, man? Okay, play length, that's great, but where is, am I using the wrong? Oh, it was right. I was right. I was right this entire time. Isn't it illegal to show YouTube chat on Twitch stream? I'm pretty sure the only thing is you have to have it have an icon to show that it is from a different chat room. Pretty sure that was the main thing. Unless they change the rules again and again and again and again and again, which, you know. Illegal is crazy to say. Time. So we don't need to do that part on tick. I think we're gonna delete this. No, we're gonna delete this. Actually, just leave it there. Okay, put that there. Then we're going to set the reload anim from here. And then this is going to be time. Duration? Dude, there was something with the montage, and now I don't know where it is anymore. I swear there was a function to determine how long it actually is. What was it called? Duration? I swear I had the node earlier and I didn't click it, and now I'm pissed off that I don't remember what it was. Length. I got it. Length. That's what it was. That's the word. Here it is. We're going to find it. Get length. Get the play length. Surely this will work just fine, right, guys? So we have this and total reload time, and then all good. Now, of course, we are going to want to check if this is valid. Well, we're just going to do this for now. It's going to give us a bunch of is valid errors. Actually, you know what? One way we can do this actually is there. Problem solved. You know, Meek, how's it going? All right, start new reload. That's going to call this total reload time. It should give us the right thing. So started reload, we're going to read from this, which is going to give us the direct reference. Start new reload. Started reload is going to give us the anim montage. And then end reload, we're going to go in here. We're going to set the reload anim montage to null, which should essentially end the reload. So, surely this is somewhere in here. Reload action. Aha. Reload action calls reload weapon on the primary weapon. Reload. Oh, God. Really, man? Oh, this is some kind of sick joke, isn't it? Okay, we'll get the primary weapon. We'll get the Of course I don't. Of course I don't have a reference for the actual reload animation. I just call it manually from a random place. Of course that's... Of course that's what I do, right? Of course, knowing me, I go to primary default, take a look at the reload. Reload weapon. Okay, so we call reload weapon, and then I manually call the reload. This really is some kind of sick joke, huh? This really is just a... Why does my code have to be so shit? Why did past me have to make everything so complicated? Will this be on console or is it already out? Potentially in the future? Potentially in the future. Potentially in the future. Will this game be on PC? Well, you know, I don't know how to answer that because it is on PC. I know that's kind of crazy to think about. It's yeah. It's on PC right now. It's on Steam. The Steam. I know, crazy. The Steam. Sorry, I have a question. I've been asking other game dev streamers, but they were giving me weird answers. All right. Continue. They're giving you weird answers, huh? Okay. It's kind of weird. Okay, well, I guess I just gotta set the reference to the extra reload animation. How do I build a world similar to A Plague Tale Innocence in Assassin's Creed Valhalla? It's a really good question. Not commenting your graphs, shake my head. Hey, listen, future me, I gotta put him on his toes. How do you build, so you're, I've never played A Plague Tale. Isn't that kind of, is it semi-linear or like open world? I know Assassin's Creed Valhalla is essentially open world EE, right? And it's pretty much open world. Open world. A lot of coffee, my friend. A lot of coffee. Open world is a tough one. Have you made any linear games, like smaller worlds? Use nanites. It's that easy. Yeah, it's not a very easy question to answer. Yeah, it's not an easy, like even for me. Like I don't really make open world games because it's very difficult. you're going to have to learn a lot of optimization tricks. That, or, well, like every open world game, you trick the player into thinking they're in an open world, but in reality, they are in sections that constantly load and unload, which either way, in an open world, that's what you do anyways as well. Really need some content? I'd love to get it on console, man. I'd love to. It's just, there's a lot involved. There is a lot involved. Okay, so now I can get a reference to the reload anim. If it's valid, let's go ahead and, just answer the question, is it possible our Unreal Engine isn't capable? Maybe those games are made using proprietary engines. Everything is possible. Anything is possible. Unreal gives you tools to create open worlds, but at the end of the day, your skill level is going to be the thing to really dictate if something runs well. There's no easy answer for that question. It's always going to be an awkward answer. The answer is, yeah. A Plague Tale is Unreal? You answered your own question. My answer is yes. And no. What about building cities like used in GTA and Watch Dogs? Yes. And no. But yes. Just, you're going to have to do a lot of optimizing. What about building environments that whole teams of artists and engineers work to produce? Yes. Yes. I'm not tech support? I've always been tech support. When you release a game, you become tech support. Without using the city build plugin? Yes. Yes. Look at the Matrix demo. It's made without city build plugin, I think. I don't know what that is. Get user widget object. Actually, wait. Ah, shit. Don't I have a way of getting which crosshair we're using? You're saying yes and no? I don't know what to tell you. Yes and no. Can you build an apartment? You know how to build an apartment? You know, concrete, plumbing, electricity. That's basically the equivalent of making an open world game in any engine. In any engine, it doesn't matter which one. It's you're gonna be doing a lot of things. Plumbing, electrical, you know, all that good the jazz. What else is in an apartment? I don't know. HVAC. Was Super Power made to be a speedrunning kind of game? Yeah, basically. That was kind of like the idea. But you don't have to speedrun it, per se. I need to call... Oh, wait, what am I doing? It's just this fucking... I just called this. I forgot. I was overcomplicating my brain. I just need to call the event because I already called the... I already binded it. Ah, of course. Of course. Let's see if it works. I'm in the wrong place. Hey, we got it. It's showing. The only thing is the reload UI is like really hard to see. You guys can see it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. That is not the that's not the total time that it takes to reload. That was definitely not the total time to reload. Why did it? Um. Hmm. Returns the total play length of the montage if played back with a speed of 1. Hmm. Yeah. Well. Hmm. Don't. Oh wait, shit. Just do that. Whatever. I want to see like if it's maybe like not being called valid anymore. Huh. We're like not getting the right time here. Oh shit. Need the ammo box. So we're getting total reload time is 1.3. Damn it, it kept logging 0. I should have turned it off. Try subtracting blend time. It could be the blend time conflicting. That's something I did think about. What was the blend time in this animation? Okay, just hold on. My engine froze, and so did I. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. All right. What's the last value that we got? 1.09. It does seem like 2 seconds. What was the blend out time for that animation? The blend out time is 0.25, and our last known value is 1.093352. 1.3. If it's 0.25, this value would be 1.05. So why did it have 1.093? 1.05 times 0.2 is 1.26. Am I doing that math right? What the fuck am I doing? Am I stupid? Why is the rate scale 0.8? Starts at 0. Right, that's what I'm thinking, Marco. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's cutting. I think something is cutting the reload short. I think something is cutting it short. Position. What? Wait, what? Get position. Okay, fucking asshole. Get position. I guess we could get the play rate. Nah, that doesn't seem right. Nah, that doesn't seem right. No, that doesn't seem right. What actually is the play rate? Let's first let's play around with that. What is the play rate? Does it give us 1 or does it give 0.8? 1. I think multiplying that origin play length by the enemy's play rate should give you the correct reload time. Yeah. We also have this, get sequence length, which I would assume is essentially the same as the get play length. Let's just check. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes some nodes and it's the same thing. Hold on. Kind of. It's at least finishing it. I don't know. It's at least finishing it. Let's just be sure. What kind of value was it giving us? 1.05. Yeah, but like it's like not really correct though. You know what I mean? Like for some reason it's reaching 1.09. So we have a slight. Where is it getting that number from? Where is it getting 1.09 from? 1.05 to 1.09. What is the math to get 1.09? Is the blend out time, if we do 0.25 multiplied by 0.8, it gives us 0.2. What was the number we got? 1.09, I think was the number. 1.09, which is very close to 1.1, which is 0.2. The thing is, I don't know how to get the built-in play rate from the animation. I don't actually think I can get the default play rate. Get I don't know if it's that. Like I don't know. It's close, but it's not like 100% there. You know what I mean? It's close, but it's not there. Like let's try a different gun real quick. Silence pistol, for example. This one takes a little bit longer to reload. Oh, right, yeah. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. I forgot to set up the animation. All right, where's the reload? Where's the reload? This is pistol reload 2. Ah, yes, of course. Okay, now. You know what? Fuck it. Whatever, it's close enough. Whatever, I would... whatever. You know what we could have done? Either way, I think it would have resulted in the same result anyways, so I don't... Who cares? Yeah, it's accurate enough to be helpful. I think that's the most important thing. Okie dokie. Now we just need to call weapon stop reloading. So, I guess we could... That's a really stupid way of doing it, but we could put it in the toggle flashlight / laser. Oh, fuck. Hey. If it works, it works. Right, guys? If it works, it works. We're gonna have to do a lot of testing with this piece of shit. Set visibility to collapsed. Wait, no, hidden. Collapsed. Yeah, whatever, collapsed. And then in here, set visibility. All right. I'm so scared of adding new widgets to the game because, like, that's our current, like, problem with, like, optimization. Oh my god, it has like a slight delay. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Okay, so when we start this reload, we do want to hide the crosshair image. Surely nothing will go wrong when we do this, right, guys? Right. Uh-oh. Get bool Zvar, game crosshair. We have a thing in here literally to hide the crosshair, which then raises the question, do we even show this whole animation? If like, whatever. Move to the right, please. I need some space. I'm gonna get claustrophobic. Just had a delay node. The crosshair image. What are you currently set to? I would assume hot to hit testable. You got it. All right. So let's see how you look now. You know what? We just got to change the default. Honestly, brother. Honestly. I think it looks good. I think it fits the bill. It still continues afterwards. I don't think there's any animations that stops. Like, so here's the thing that's really funny. We used to have 2 states for reloads, right? So you have the first state where you take out the magazine. I don't think there's anything that we can do to cancel the reload now because we've made it so all actions no longer cancel the reload. It'll just keep going. So I actually don't know if I can... Oh, an execution. Wait, hold on. Okay. I didn't mean to kill him. Ah, shit. It turned it off! Dude, Pog. And for some reason it continued the old animation. That's not right. Wait, hold on. That's... Huh, interesting. So the state that it was in, magwell empty, did not reset. That's a funny little bug, I guess. Well. This is all because you didn't comment your graph scrim? No, it's not. It's because I'm stupid. It's not because of... no, that's not it. I think the problem is when we do an execution... Let me see if I can find where we give ourselves ammo. That's not it. Here. What? Wait, what? Where the hell am I? Oh, right here. When we give ourselves ammo, add ammo, amount 7, we should technically be resetting the magwell. I think either way, we should be resetting the magwell. So magwell empty, we should set that to false. So then the question is... Searching through this project's blueprints for things must be the biggest ball ache imaginable. It's actually not that bad. You'd be surprised. Okay, so the goal is for this to work, we have to do the entire reload animation. Ah, there we go. Okay, okay, all right. All right. Okay, so one thing that we can do is when this is not valid, or if this is equal to the, how can I do this in a way where we end? You mentioned reloads were still split into 2 states. That's still the case? It is, yeah. It's just the fact that we changed a lot of it so any action no longer cancels it. We used to have it so when you would roll, we would cancel the reload, but we just kind of continue it. I am noticing though, do you guys see that? Interesting. Oh. Oh, we can't use that part. That's not a good spot for us to use that. Calling weapon stop reloading. This is a very hacky way of calling it, but doing it in the toggle flashlight / laser is not the right spot because we constantly use that in okay, we're gonna have to call that somewhere else. Where is a quick spot we can call that without having to recode and all? Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna have to call it manually. Just gonna have to call it manually. We're just gonna have to do it manually, like a proper person, and just put it in every single gun that has a reload system associated. I'm assuming first state is mag out / in, and then second state, yes. So first state is remove, so we're removing the current magazine that's in. Second state is loading. So you have start, which is remove magazine. Continue is put it in. So if you were to cancel midway through the continue, it would continue from the continue spot. That being said, there's no like granularity there where it's like fucking pulling on the slide or whatever like that. There's some games that do that. They go like real deep into the stages. This is just 2-stage. So it's like start, pulling out the magazine, continue. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. It ain't anything crazy. But the game doesn't really make use of that anymore, to be honest. I think COD also uses a 2-state reload. I think, if I remember correctly, Modern Warfare 2, the newest Modern Warfare 2, they went real, like, deep into it, where they went even beyond just 2-state reload. Like, I think if you canceled your reload after putting the magazine in, but you didn't finish, like, the, you know, if it's an AK or some shit, whatever the fucking gun, I think they have, like, an animation that they usually play. They'll continue with that one. So it's like, I want to say it's 3-stage? I want to say it's 3-stage. And for a game like that, that makes sense. Because it's like you're constantly like sprinting or canceling your reload and stuff like that. And you're generally kind of just... Your magazine's in the gun. You just got to do the thing, the next thing after that, right? So, makes sense for them. For us, we just don't really take advantage of that anymore. So... Yeah. Okay, so here's the problem. We now have to call stop reload everywhere. Wait, I just realized we don't want to call it here. I'm a little bit of a dummy sometimes. We want to call it here. Which would make sense. Literally on completed. Call weapon stop reloading. One of the best evolutions of firearm reloads in games, right? Not having to reload the entire fucking thing every single time. Because it makes sense, right? If you already reloaded the gun, you know, it makes sense. Okay, I now have to do that for every single gun that has a reload. The Deagle does not have a reload, thankfully. I don't need to call it here. Wait, why does it have a reload weapon? The Deagle literally can't reload, so how are you reloading the Deagle? I guess we just don't ever call reload, but we just left the code there for some reason. I'm sure past me had an idea for that one. Okay, call this here. We also need to feed it the reload animation. Nail gun reload. So I guess we're doing a double whammy for doing all this. Reload anim. This is core logic that should be handled in the parent class? Yes. I'm not disagreeing with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you whatsoever. Okay? Do not get it twisted. I am not disagreeing with you at all. Single shot pistol. Pretty sure this had a, yep. It had its own reload animation. Single shot reload. There's a lot of potato code in here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say like I'm some 10-year C++ dev or whatever the fuck, 20-year or whatever. I don't care. It's flawed in a lot of places because this game I've been working on it for 5 years. I've only been a dev for like 10 or 11, 12 years, whatever. So like half of my career has been working on this game. So you can imagine there's a lot of potato code all over the place. That's just what happens. That's just what happens. Okay, I think those are all our primary weapons. So, let's start from the top. Default weapon. Not bad. I think we can improve the animation a little bit, but that's okay. Next gun. The silenced weapon. Cool. Oh yeah, 100% Marco. 100%. I think the next game I work on, well, I'll be able to take all of the experience in Blueprint and try to shift it in C++ as well. So I do plan on using a lot more C++ for the next game. That's the goal. Cool. I like this new reload UI. I think it'll be a nice little UX thing. I know nobody asked for it. But I think people will appreciate it. So wait, hold on. Can you reload when you're holding a different gun? I don't remember if you can. Cool. You're a tomato boy. Last time I saw you, you made that parody a while back. Ah, the zombie parody. Yes. One day I'll work on a real like zombie roguelite, and then hopefully that will turn into a survival game. That is like the end game of like what I want to do for game development. You go to Tenchi, 7-year second generation Unreal dev. Hey, it would be a 12-year 4th generation Unreal developer because like I started with UE4. You know what I mean? You know what you say? Oh god. Yeah, you know what I mean? Any major pitfalls to using Blueprint that you've ran into over the development of Superhire? I don't think there's necessarily any because I would consider a pitfall as like something that literally like causes you to just get fucked, right? I think there are bumps. I think there are certain things that like, you know, I wouldn't say there's like pitfalls. I think the game could, you know, could always make do with being more optimized, but that's just because of my inexperience with specific programming things. It's not because of Blueprint. It's just even if I made it in C++, I'd end up probably fucking it up more in C++. There's certain things that you can't do in Blueprint that you require C++ with, so I guess those would be pitfalls, like certain things. But yeah, nothing like really crazy. It's just I want to learn C++ just because I think it's a good step to learn. It creates a little bit more independence as a developer, and I can hopefully do more things outside of the scope of needing Epic to to fix some shit. Some guy that made ALS is the same guy that got hired by Epic and made motion matching, and a lot of people saying you need an overlay system for that to be good too. An overlay system? What do you mean by an overlay system, Millsy? I'll 100% play it. I've always thought about making a multiplayer zombie survival with like Breath of the Wild graphics and just crafting and stuff, but I've never made a game in my life. Oh, hey, I'd say give it a try. You might like it. You might enjoy it. Oh, an ALS overlay? Like a UI thing? Or overlay as in, yeah, blending bones. You need an overlay system for that to be good. Like being able to switch from like different weapons and stuff like that. Well, listen, an overlay system is all dependent on what the type of game you're making is. Right? Like we technically have an overlay system for this game, right? Because the upper body has different types of poses. You can see the lower body stays the same, right? Like it's not an overly difficult thing to put in. Obviously it has it has its moments. You got to be very careful and make it look natural and look good, right? But did I go to college to learn a lot of this? Nah. I tried to finish high school as soon as possible just so I could just do my own shit. ALS is, in my opinion, based on my experience of using ALS, and I switched over Ronin's entire system back when we worked on that, and he used ALS. If you don't know what you're doing, you will be stuck 90% of the time when you want to try to do some custom stuff. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to do custom stuff. And then you're no longer creating animation systems. You're instead wrangling and trying to fucking morph ALS to work the way you want it to, and in my opinion it's just extremely over engineered, and you can probably just do your own thing. Where are all those red lines when you jump over the mini wall? Oh, these are, I forgot to turn them off. These are assist lines. So the red sphere is checking if there's an object in front of you, and if there's an object in front of you, it's going to kind of assist and try to push you over top it. These red lines, if they work properly right now, are there to kind of help push my diving in the right direction, but of course it's not working. It doesn't work because it's like this wall isn't like closed. If I extend the wall, it will kind of help the dive go in the right direction. So you kind of see like it doing it there. Those are what those lines are doing. It's kind of determining the space to try to help the player not hit their head in a wall. So in top down, this is useful because sometimes you don't have like fine movements. Yeah, it's doing basically, yeah, like an aim assist, but for diving. It's not 100% perfect. It's got some fixing that needs doing. But it mostly helps a little bit. I think it just needs some improvements. Yeah. I think it wore hard. Appreciate that. I hope my next game is as good, if not better, than this one. What are the door kick line traces for? I actually don't even know. You know, I wish I actually knew the answer to that. I actually don't even remember what those are for. The red line going across is while the door is moving, it traces forward if it hits an enemy, and then there's some other shit that I don't remember about. Yeah. Yeah. I use the nav mesh, but mostly for the enemies. I actually haven't thought of using the nav mesh for the player. Yeah, it definitely could be something I could do. Like, I could use nav mesh or even EQS to query movable spots, whatnot. But I just did real old-fashioned and just did a line trace. Yeah, yeah, so you can deal damage to enemies. So the line trace is like a raw version of that. That's basically it. Yeah, you know, there's always different ways of doing things. I just went with the stupid way of just brute forcing it with a bunch of line traces. How many AI will it hit? It depends. I think just one. I think just one. I don't think it can hit multiple. Although that would be funny. Sometimes it could. Let's see. Or maybe it hits none of them. You know, that happens too sometimes. I think this is the issue where... Yep, the aim assist is still doing weird things. If an enemy is too close to a door, it will instead try to magnetize our kick to the enemy, and then that ends up fucking the door up. Yeah, I think it only hits one enemy. It would be funny if it hit multiple. It would be kind of funny if it hit multiple. Oh, he got hit a little bit. Are there any movement-related weapons or items? Not really, but the shotguns launch you back. So you can kind of use that to throw yourself a bit. So if you like dive in the air and then someone died accidentally by doing that. It was Reamer. That was accidentally started launching himself and then threw himself off a building by accident. No rocket jumping. Well, now that you mention it. Well, you know, now that you mention it, you know. Maybe, you know, we could look into it. Shoddy is the speedrun strat. I'm sure someone is gonna mod a like level in and they're gonna be like shotgun jumping or like something. Maybe they turn it into like a whole thing. I don't know. But you could use it as a speedrunning tactic. I don't know how intuitive it would be, but... Okay, what are some other guns that have a reload animation that we need to check on? Also, I need to check if I die, does... Okay, hold on. Revolver I want to test because I want to see if... Okay, it doesn't play an animation because there is no animation. Nail gun... I love the animation for this one. I animated this animation. It's just you grab the thing, throw it to the side, and then hook it in. It's a fun little one. Single shot. This is also one I animated. I actually was not paying attention to the UI, but it seemed correct. Cool. Okay. And last but not least... Deagle does not have a reload animation, so we're good. But let's see. All right. Shoddy surfing, yeah. Did you just boost yourself with a shotgun? You can, yeah. You've heard of rocket jumping. Have you heard of shotgun... I'm sure someone will come up with something creative. Shoddy surfing, I guess you could do shoddy surfing. But if you're surfing, that means you're on the ground. So, like, what if you're in the air? Shoddy flight. Going down overflow? You could do that. It's a straight path, so... Shoddy long jump Olympics. Yeah, he got the ketchup hairstyle. All right. Anyways, thanks for dropping by. Oh wait, I gotta fix this later, but I'll do that off stream. 4 hours, almost 5 hour stream. Jeez, I really am full time. I'll see you guys later. I gotta set up my fucking thing in the back here. My buildings. I gotta set up my buildings. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, everybody. Thanks for lurking, chatting. I'll see you guys. What day is tomorrow? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Can I pay to add Scorpion's hook? Like the ability? I don't know how that would work. That's for the next game, brother. That's for the next game. Thank you, Bully. Appreciate that. 2 hours spent on crosshairs, that's what we call full time. And welcome to game development, man. Sometimes you spend like way too long on one thing that seems like it should have taken 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna go eat something. Have a great day. Thanks for dropping by. Goodbye.